What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and I am here tonight with the review for Black Ink Crew Compton. This is season 1, episode 4, and it's titled Cheers. Cheers to 3 Musketeers. So, you guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right into the video. Alright, you guys, so the episode, it opens where we see KP and we see Tim. They are in the gym working out with one another. And, they just talking about the grand opening party and how it was a good turnout, how everybody in the city came out just to, celebrate them. And, after this, Tim decides to tell KP, like, yo, man, at the, the party, I overheard, Lemire talking to Nessie, and he was telling Nessie how, he felt like you ain't good, running the shop well, like, he don't feel like you, good management material, just talking negative shit about you, basically. And, that kind of takes KP off, which, I mean, I would feel that way, too. Like, I gave you a job, and then you're going to talk shit about me at my grand opening. So, yeah, I definitely get where, how KP would feel about that. So then we see Ink, we see Voodoo, and we see Nessie. So those three, those are the Musketeers, and they are out celebrating the opening of the shop, which is going to be the next day. So, Nessie asked Voodoo, like, hey, did you approach Barbie and let Barbie know that you was feeling her? And she was like, yeah, I did approach Barbie. And I told Barbie, hey, I think, I'm attracted to you, and, she would like to see where things go with that. Well, Barbie turned her down flat. And, Voodoo's like, damn, am I losing my mojo? And then Ink, he decides he want to give Voodoo some advice on how to, try to woo Barbie. And I was even with Nessie, I'm like, yeah, that advice that you giving her is not going to get her anywhere, but with more egg on her face. So Nessie tells her, like, hey, what you really got to do is, just kind of catch her off guard and just, and just, Nessie planted a kiss on her. So, she's like, catch her off guard. Kiss her, woo her, make her feel, special. And I'm like, well, I don't know if that's going to make her feel special or if it's going to make her feel like, bitch, I told you once I wasn't into you and now you kissing me? So, I don't know if I'll take either one of their advice, to be honest with you. But you're going to do whatever. You're gonna do whatever Voodoo, so have at it. All right, you guys. So, next we see Lemire. So, Lemire goes home to Danielle. And Danielle is just, worried about this whole thing with the baby because the last time they went to the doctor's bill was $900. And that's, that's just a doctor's visit. And, the baby has, potentially has spinal bifida. So she's just thinking, like, damn, Lemire, like, what happens if the baby does have these medical issues? Then we're going to have added expenses with taking care of the baby's needs. So she's like, you know what? We need to get a second truck. And he was like, well, I got the truck, and I also am doing the tattooing. So, that could help alleviate some of the stress. But again, Danielle is all about getting a second truck. And, I kind of understand where she's coming from, but what if you get the second truck and the second truck is not as profitable as the first truck? Then you lose money. So you got to think long and hard. You got to test the waters. You got to test the market and make sure that there's a market for a second truck before you actually just go out and buy a second truck. But, whatever she say, don't matter to me. So then we see the next day, the shop does open. And, KP is talking about who his first client is. He said Columbus Short. I was like, ooh. And then Columbus came into the shop, and I'm just looking at Columbus. I'm like, man, Columbus is really on hard times. You just really feel bad for Columbus with all the shit that he's been through within the last few years. When I noticed a downturn in Columbus Short was number one when he got fired from Scandal, and number two was when he married Corinne Steffens. Like I knew something when he married her. I'm like, it is something seriously wrong with Columbus Short, especially marrying her. And that marriage was toxic. So, he comes in, he talking about there was a dude on the street that got his brains blown out. And the camera crew plus KP and Tim go outside to take a look and see. I'm like, why would y'all, if somebody just got shot outside and they dead, why are you going outside to check and see? That's the last thing I want to see is a dead body. How do I know they not out there still shooting? Like, why would you take yourself out there? Make that make sense to me. But, despite that, they go back into the shop. It's a good day. They got a lot of people coming into the shop. I'm pretty sure people were just coming in there because of the cameras. Maybe some. But we do see them do some tattoos. We see a client come in for Lemire. Lemire, however, is not at the shop. So I don't know what they did with their client. Um, Now, we see everybody tattooing, and Barbie also showed up and they told Barbie they had a little space for her to tattoo. We see Barbie's tattoo, we see Nessie's tattoo, we see KP's tattooed, we see Ink Dripping is tattooed. That tattoo that Ink Dripping did, I was like, what the fuck was that? It was horrible. Like, I hope the girl didn't pay for it. I hope it was free because I would have been so pissed. Like, for real. Like, that tattoo was shit. Wasn't good at all. Not, no. No. That tattoo was not good. All right, so next, you guys, we see KP. So KP is going out to dinner with his mom, and, he's telling his mom about his first day at the shop. He's telling her, like, hey, there was a shooting at the shop. And she's like, you know what, KP? That shooting has absolutely nothing to do with you. And I agree with mama. That ain't got nothing to do with you. You are there to tattoo. Don't worry about the shit from outside. Let that be. You focus on what you are there to do, and what you are there to do is to be a tattoo artist. So don't worry about nothing else. He also tells her, like, hey, mama. So Tim was telling me that not KP, but Tim was telling me that Lemire was talking shit about me, talking about, how I can't run the business, how I'm not running it the right way, this and this and that. The mama says, you know what? All that negative stuff, don't worry about it. Let it be. Let it go. She says, if you want to run your business into the ground, that is your business to do that. Not for him to sit there and tell you, which I agree with mama. Like, don't let nobody tell you how to run your business. Like she said, if he wants to run that business to the ground, that's between him and whoever. But not between Lemire and him. So I definitely agree with what his mom was saying. Like, his mama speaking real shit to him. And I love his mama. So then we see KP. He is meeting with this girl named Alana. And, she does tattoos. And she is an artist as well. So, they both realize that they have similar backstories with one another. She says that her dad put her out when he realized that she was tattooing because he's like, if you're going to tattoo, you're not going to do it at my house. And KP says his mama did the same thing to him. She saw him tattooing K and P on his legs and on his thighs or wherever. And she told him, she doesn't agree with that. Gotta go. I thought his story was he went to college. Got kicked out of college. Never mind. Not gonna go too deep into that. But, so we find out that she has only been tattooing for about 6 months. And she's 20 years old. Very young. Indeed. Like, very, very young. But KP does, offer her a chair at the shop. I'm like, okay, if that's what you want to do, by all means, go for it, my brother. All right, you guys. So next, we got Nessie and Voodoo, and they having a girls' night with one another. And this is where not Nessie, but Voodoo is starting to get on my nerves just a tad bit. And the reason why I'm gonna say she's getting on my nerves is because she keeps talking about this cult thing. We got it in the first. We are in episode 4 now, and we've talked about it every episode. We definitely get it. You were raised in a cult. Your mama wasn't shit. Because, she was talking about, because how it came up was the fact that, Nessie was talking about how her mom sends her a care package and her mom would be out there to visit her. And, Voodoo said she's not close to her mama. And she was like, her mom got with her stepdad. And her stepdad, basically poisoned her mom against her family. And I just wonder if her mom was black or white. I'm not saying that to be offensive or anything. I just wonder. Like, she must be a gullible person to listen to that kind of shit. Like, gotta be gullible. And she was talking about the abuse, how he would choke her, how they would have to do karate, kung fu. They were homeschooled. All her other siblings are by her mom and her stepdad. It's just a lot. And at this point, I'm really tired of her talking about this whole cult thing. I get it. It's a part of her story, but you've already told it to us. We good. We got it. We understand. We feel bad for you, but let's let that sleeping dog lie, please. So then we move to the shop. So at the shop, Alana shows up, and Barbie's like, "So are you here for an appointment?" She's like, "No, I'm the new tattoo artist here." And Barbie was coming off a little strong, and I'm like, oh, "Okay, Barbie, calm down. This ain't got nothing to do with you. KP hired her. You're just a receptionist, so chill the fuck out." So then Voodoo gets in her feelings because she's like, "Wait a minute. She's a tattoo artist, but I'm an apprentice." And then when she finds out she's been tattooing for 6 months, she's like, "Wait a minute. So she's been tattooing for 6 months, whereas I've been tattooing for a year, and I'm an apprentice. Oh, and she's 20 years old? Wow, KP. Great. Amazing. Fantastic." And I guess I can understand her, her sentiments. Like, that is kind of fucked up, though. The girl's only been tattooing for 6 months, and you give her a chair as a artist, whereas Voodoo has been tattooing for a whole year. Like, I think it's a little fucked up. So then another one of Lemir's clients show up, but Lemire is not there. Where's Lemire, you might ask? So Lemire is out with Danielle, and they're looking at another truck for Happy Ice. And, Lemire keeps looking at the clock like, "Yo, man, like, yo, babe, I got a client that's at the shop. Like, I got to go." And Danielle keeps telling him, "Don't worry about that client. Let's get this truck. Like, we need this truck right here, right now, today." And he's like, "Danielle, like, I got a fucking client that I got to go. Like, that is money." She's like, "But we need to get under the truck today." So he finally leaves, and she's like, "Don't swipe my card." Why would you leave your card with her? She's going to swipe your card, bro. So, at the shop, they have given Lemire's client to Alana, who is new, 6 months, and 20 years old. So, Voodoo and Nessie feel some type of way about that, which I can understand that sentiment. Like, she came there for Lemire to give her a tattoo, but I can also understand where KP is coming from. This is an artist in my shop. You set up this appointment with her to do a tattoo, but you're not here. So we're going to have to move this on to the next person. Like, if she say cool, we move it on. If she say nah, I'd rather wait for for Lemire. So I'm gonna call Lemire. I'm gonna reschedule another day with him. They could have gave her any kind of options, but I get both sides of the spectrum. And then Nessie, because she's standing up so heavily for Lemire, she gets into it with Tim, and she gets into it with Ink Drippin for a little bit, but mostly she gets into it with Tim. And then Lemire comes, and they told Lemire, like, "Bro, step out for a little bit." And it's actually Tim that told him to step out. I'm like, whoa, Tim getting buck in the chest a little bit. So then Lemire does come back in, and Lemire gets into it with Tim and Ink Drippin, and that's basically where the episode ended, you guys. So the season is really going kind of slow, but I'm okay with that for the most part. It ain't as over the top as New York and Chicago are, but it's alright for right now. But be sure to like the video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys later.